All right, we are excited at this time on our Legacy Builders Global Agent Group Virtual Coffee Club. On today, we have a very, very special guest with us. This is somebody who we actually met. We met. I mean, first of all, in our cloud office, but physically, we got a chance to meet a few years ago at one of the eXp cons, the conventions that we have. And got to learn a little bit more about him. It was so exciting to meet him. This is Neal Kreiser, because not only is he the very first agent to ever be recruited or to ever join eXp Realty, and his sponsor is none other than the founder of eXp Realty, Glenn Sanford. So how about that?
Yeah.
You're getting sponsored by Glenn Sanford, and you're the very first one. So you stepping in on
right place and right time.
I know, right time, right time. But I tell you, but I mean, the very first agent with eXp Realty, he's an icon agent himself, and we're so excited that he's here because where he is, he's in Bellingham, Washington. He had to get up for this call because we started at 8:30. It was 5:30 a.m. his time, and he's still a bundle of energy. You know what I mean? He's always energetic, just a great person. I know my wife and I just, we're really thrilled to meet him and have a conversation with him. He's been the same ever since. Every time we talk to him, smiling, very energetic, very passionate about life, passionate about eXp Realty. We had a conversation with him, about coming on this call. And, we're just going to just kind of really, and actually, yeah, we do want to share that we're all in his group. So Legacy Builders Global Agent Group is all part of his group. So really excited. So got a chance to learn a little bit of history about the lineage that flows all the way up to him being the first agent. So really excited about that. So he really, so we're just going to have a conversation, ask him some questions, just so we can just, hear about Neal Kreiser, the pre-eXp Neal Kreiser, and the success that he has, what compelled him to, come on board and step out on a blank sheet of paper when Glenn, talked to him about eXp Realty, and then really give us some perspective being agent number one as far as, how his journey from 10 years ago all the way through now, and then what he sees going in the future, because Dale shared with us that, hey, the best is yet to come.
Yes.
It really is.
And what we want you all to do is definitely hold on to your questions, because there's going to be an opportunity at the end for you to ask your questions. You can place them in the chat, so that you don't forget. But you will definitely have opportunity to dialogue with agent number one of eXp Realty.
That's it. That's none other than Neal Kreiser. So let's give it up for Neal Kreiser.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dale. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, it sounds like your coffee is a little bit stronger than mine. But you guys are rocking and rolling, and I love it. I'm about halfway through, and as you can see, I had to quick move. My wife's like, "Hey, I need this room," so I had to move things around. And can you see me okay?
Yes, we can. We can. We see those pearly whites and everything. You're energetic.
Oh, perfect. All right. Excellent. Yeah, it's all about being at the right place at the right time, and it's been such a it was quite a journey over these past, what are we, 10.5 years now already? Yeah. And to actually be agent number one is what a joy to help build this company that is really building legacies in people's lives. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have much, going before eXp. I mean, I was a very successful real estate agent, but I wasn't building legacy. I was building, I was working towards a lifestyle that I wanted, but not without a true vehicle. And so I'll go ahead and kind of fill in the backstory.
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Yeah, so it all really kind of started at Keller Williams here in Bellingham.
Right.
I jumped in back in 2002, 2003, and quickly rose to the top, rookie of the year, and just started really kind of getting my feet underneath me. I have the gift of gab, and I love people, and I love houses too. So it was like a perfect fit from my lifestyle and from my life. And so this guy comes in, and he quickly becomes top listing and selling team. So here I'm the top agent, he's the top team, and we were always chiding each other and whatnot. And about what was that, 2000, I was at Keller Williams for 5 years. So it was about 2007, rolling into 2008. I had jumped over to Remax for a couple years, and Glenn jumped out and started his own team, Buyer Tours. And he was really kissing butt. He had a great system where he was providing service before he was truly hired. So anybody that was looking for homes on the internet, Glenn would say, hey, tell you what, we're going to run over there and do a quick video and tour this home for you, and we'll get back to you and let you know what it's all about. Right. Which was, what a great model where you're serving first. And so how can somebody say, no, I don't want to use you when you've already provided a service right up front?
Right.
And so I was over at Remax for a few years, doing good there, but I realized one day they started teaching this thing about Facebook, and I'm like, I've been on for 2 years already. You know, what's this all about? Why so late? And it was at that time that I'm just like, I'm on the wrong ship here. So I called up Glenn, and I'm like, hey, Glenn, I think I need a more technologically savvy company. And he's like, you think? And so I came over and I joined Buyer Tours, and that was right at right around 2008 when everything started imploding, and I'm like, oh great, here we go. And so Glenn's like, well, you know what, we can. We were at first in damage control. He had a bunch of bricks and mortar, and we had to change some things up, and we started asking the question, well, you know, this may be the perfect opportunity to build a company.
Right.
And so, excuse me. So we started getting together and talking about, okay, you know, this is 2008. What tools do we have available to ourselves? And so over 2008, early 2009, we started putting a company together and figuring out what it's going to look like, and trying out different virtual platforms, and putting together everything that we need to launch. And we ended up launching on October 6th, 2009, as we know. Right. And so it was really, it was fun. It was exciting, but it was also scary because, you know, to be honest, I didn't have too many prospects at that time. Right. You know, I wasn't going to go backwards to another model that was clearly antiquated. You know, there's a lot of really good companies out there, but we wanted to build something revolutionary. So a disruptor is what Glenn kept on saying. Right. We need to disrupt what we already know to really grow. And one thing he did that really impacted me is he got us all a book, and it was called Fast Forward Culture Change. And basically the premise of the book says you can't just modify what you're doing. You need to just throw out the rule book and rewrite the rules.
Wow.
Love it.
And that's what we started doing. We're like, okay, and we started building out logos and picking colors and trying to figure out, what does this next gen real estate company embody? What's its mission and vision and values and all that? And the one thing that we really kind of rallied around is making it agent centric.
Right.
Because if the agents are not happy and productive, there is no company.
Right.
And yeah, and so we really just started building it out. Like the fees today at eXp are the same fees that we put into place back in 2009.
Wow.
11 years.
But,
wow.
Yeah, right? For 10 years.
Wow.
I saw them increase, you know, pretty much monthly or at least biannually in the other offices that I'd worked for. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. And so, but the nice thing is, as our agent count goes up, Glenn's just packing and the team's packing more value into that same dollar amount. Yeah. There's been some tweaks and stuff along the way, but that remains the same. It's still agent centric. Right. It's still, you know, thinking about the agents before anything else is done.
Absolutely.
So Dale, this is very exciting for you, and I know you had seen Glenn's success, and you had some level of success, but I'm sure it wasn't all roses at first, and it wasn't all golden.
No, it was not.
So tell us about some of that. We want to hear the gritty stuff.
Well, it was really kind of a all hands on deck. You know, there was a team of about 6 or 7 of us: Brian Colhane and Gabe LeBeau and Kirk Johnson and Catherine Carey, and there was just a group of us. We were all hands on deck. We're like, okay, what do we need? And we're meeting in the virtual world right as we're starting, and we're just hammering out, okay, what next? What next? What next?
Right.
How are we going to open up Oregon? How are we going to open up Arizona, and who are the key players and all this? But there was many months where there wasn't a whole lot of business going on back in 2008, especially in my market. It just dried up as we're watching all the financial institutions tick off, and shut down. And so there was some very challenging times, and I know especially for Glenn, because he had payroll to still make, even though there wasn't any income coming in. So it was very interesting. It was really cool to see. So right as we launched, there was a big RE bar camp along with a Association of Realtors meeting down in San Francisco. The following month is in November, and I'm like, I'll go. I need to go and represent. And so I went down there, and that was quite cool. I ended up getting into a forum along with Stefan Swanepoel and a bunch of other, Brad Anderson was there, talking about the future of real estate. Maybe you've seen the video that Brad did when we were first brand new. But I started talking about what we were developing, and a lot of people got excited, which was really cool. So Brad said, if you're really doing this, and I pulled up my laptop and I'm like, look, here's our world. This is what we're doing. And he's like, I need to come and video this. I'm like, he was with, was he Zillow or Active Rain then? I think he was Zillow. Okay. And so he came and did that video, and it went viral. And that's where Jason Gessing stepped up. That's when Vince Hopper stepped up, and there was a number of other brokers from different states that said, hey, I want in. Right. Which was really exciting. And so basically the plane started taking off as we're building it.
Good. Awesome. And what time period would you say that was? Because you started in October 6, 2009.
Yep.
At what point would you say?
It was it was right at the beginning of the year, because Brad put that out, I think it was in December, and it was by January, just, it was really rapid. Absolutely. Yeah. I think Vince was even sooner than that. Yeah. He reached out going, hey, I want to take a look at this.
And how do you recruit agents at that time, or attract agents at that time?
You know what? It was kind of challenging just because we were so new, and we're building out all the infrastructure. Onboarding was, we didn't have our systems down, and we're still refining them today, because when an agent wants to come on, they want on now. And it's like, how do you, when you're the only guy, or there's only, a handful of us, it was, like I said, it was all hands on deck. Everybody was doing everything we could just to keep it afloat and help it take off. So it was, recruiting was a bit challenging up until probably, I find probably about 5 years ago. We're about 5 years to finally establish, hey, we're not going away. We're here, and that's when our just started coming in, and we really were able to develop the next level.
Absolutely. I know, my wife and I, we joined in December of 2012 by way of Guy Allen. We were with his brokerage. We were agent 105 and 106. So and some of us, there's some others on this call that were kind of in that same time frame. So we saw a lot of the bumps and bruises and challenges, and just kind of exposing the brand eXp Realty, but we thought we were just amazed at the career benefits of eXp Realty, and probably majority of what we have now, what didn't even exist then, you know.
Right.
Everything.
Exactly.
So it was just amazing. But what was your aha moment where you were like, wow, I think we landed on a gold mine here? You know, what was that moment where you're like, okay, this is it. I see this just you know, way beyond what you even imagined.
You know, I'm a big dreamer. And
Yeah.
so I kind of saw it right from the beginning as we're building it. I'm like, okay, well, we were saying that this is either going to take off like a rocket ship or it's going to blow, it's going to implode. And we're like, well, we're not going to let it implode.
Right.
And so we just pushed forward. I knew it really when we hit NASDAQ. I think that was a wow. I mean, it really, I mean, that's, you know, that's playing with the big boys now.
Right.
And, you know, and just watching it over these last, you know, 2 months at what's going on. And, you know, people are really finally figuring out that we're not going away. This is going to be a major player.
Right.
In you know, on a global scale, which is really exciting to me.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, well, we appreciate you definitely, you know, stepping out on faith and on a blank sheet of paper, you know, being that, you know, seeing that vision, and, you know, we're part of that vision, obviously being part of your group. And, you know, I know, you know, you have one of the largest, you know, groups in the eXp Realty. And, I know we talked the other day about the best is yet to come.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Best is yet to come. And so why do you feel that, you know, 'cause we have agents who've been with eXp Realty on this call for, you know, going on 8 years. We have some that have just joined over the past month. But talk a little bit about why you feel like the best is yet to come. I mean, you've been engulfed in eXp Realty for the past going on 11 years, but you're more excited about the future. I know we talked before this call. And why is that?
Well, now recruiting, you know, for agent attraction, it was a lot of outbound calls.
Right.
You know, hey, have you seen what we're doing? Have you checked us out? And now there's so much excitement. I mean, you can feel it. It's palpable. I mean, there's energy going on in the meetings and everything that's happening. There's a lot of excited people, and there's a lot of people that are building some true legacy right now.
Right.
And so now people are really seeking us out. You know, I had an agent. He's like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I need to be part of it.
Right.
And I'm like, do you want to hear about it? And he's like, yeah, but let's start our onboarding while you're telling me about it.
Right.
And so that's different than me having to armbar him and saying, no, you need to take a look at this. Really, it's for your benefit. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that even though you have a nice sizable group, we were talking, and you still sell some. You do.
I do. Yeah. In fact, I was. eXp has allowed me to retire my wife, and she's joined me in the business.
Wow, congratulations.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so she was in the lending side of things. She was one of the funders, which was very high stress. And I'm like, you know, for the last, 4 or 5 years, I'm like, you don't really have to do that.
That's awesome.
But she didn't want to put all the eggs in one basket, and I get it. But I'm just like, that, you know, that's a lot of stress. You know, I want you to be here, for when things get really good, and I knew they would.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we appreciate you sharing that, because especially, being able to retire your wife, congratulations on that, because, our mission is, with our group is to really help our agents and brokers and other agents in the industry, build a better business, to live a better life, and ultimately build a legacy. So, hands down, just in our opinion, there's no better vehicle to do that than with eXp Realty, with all we have to offer. And so, whether it's
across all industries,
right?
There's no other industry that's doing anything like this.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, instead of giving me a piece of paper, congratulations, look how good you're doing.
Right.
They just, instead they just gave me a handful of stock back in 2017.
Wow.
And so that icon award.
Yeah.
In 2017, at today's value is almost $200,000.
I mean, wow.
I mean, what company is going to do that just to say, hey, you're kicking butt. Here's some extra.
Right. But, you know, a gift card to Panera Bread or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Get some of value. I know. I mean, because we have, you know, several, you know, cappers, icon agents in our group who, like I said, have earned stock for, you know, and
very life changing.
You know, life changing. So,
right. Yeah. Because now all of a sudden, the mentality is we're not just agents for a company. We are owners in a company, and we hold ourselves to a different standard. And that's what I tell any new agent that's looking at this. Hey, you close a deal and you become an owner in this company. You're not just a number. You're not just a piece of paper on the wall. You know, you're an owner. So how are you going to up your game to be an owner? Because to be an owner, there's some responsibility. Because if you're doing if you're not putting your best forward, you are hurting your own company. And when people get their head wrapped around, they start taking it to that next level, which is wonderful. I love seeing that. I love seeing brand new agents come in and go, wait a second, I'm now an owner? I'm like, yeah. Down on your business card, put broker owner, because you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Dale, talk a little bit about, I know, you know, again, congratulations on your success. I mean, you
thank you.
Great things. And so I know we talked a little bit about, you know, what you're looking to do going forward. So project over, let's say, over the next 5 years, as far as, you know, what is your personal goal and mission as far as, you know, growing eXp Realty? I know you have, you know, a lot of agents, and there's some future eXp agents out there. So what is your personal mission going forward, you know, as far as your business and growing eXp Realty and even pouring back into agents?
Mine is really going to be shifting. I love doing the transactions. I love helping people and handing over those keys. I think that is such a privilege and an honor to be able to serve people like that. But now I'm going to start pouring it back into everybody like yourself. I haven't been to Virginia, but I really need to be. I need to, I haven't been over to Illinois, or I really, in my my business right now, I have agents in 49 states.
Wow.
So that means I have a lot of places to visit and come in and support and help lift up in those markets. And the legacy builders, this is so perfect, because this has been on my mind. Is now, you know, how am I going to do, you know, how is it going to be just a massive road trip? Why not? You know, there's others that are out there doing it right now. So maybe I think I'll just join that bandwagon and go and see the world and support my friends.
Absolutely. And that's perfect. We're talking about the world, especially with eXp's really assertive initiative to grow globally. And we love that. And I know one of our goals and one of our missions is to have a presence in every state and every country and every part of the world that eXp has a presence in, you know. So that's an awesome vision. So.
That's really, really good.
And they're out there looking for you. You know, there's agents out there. I mean, still the average agent is not making an average wage, you know? And so that's a spot where we can come alongside these agents out there that really don't have any plans to build a legacy. And we can pull up with the vehicle and say, hop on in. We're already taking off, and help them, you know, just the success stories that we hear of people, you know, that were, you know, have been even great agents, but now they're able to really build legacy for their children, grandchildren, and their community.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think we're living that legacy.
I know
now.
That's right.
We always we're building the legacy, but really we're living the
legacy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
eXp has allowed us that opportunity, so we're excited. What we want to do is see if any of our group has any questions. If you have a question and you wanted to unmute, because we have about 15 minutes, so that's a lot of time to get some good questions answered.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Okay.
He mentioned that on our business card, because we have stock in the company, now we can put broker owner.
Well, I remember in Virginia we were told we couldn't do that. That was a state specific. He probably can do that.
Yeah, it is state specific, but in reality, if you own stock, you are an owner in a company. You can buy some IBM stock and be an owner of IBM.
That's true.
And so it is state specific. And so just check with your broker and see, you know, what is allowed.
Yeah, the most important thing I got out of that, Dale, is thank you. Is we should just have the mentality, at least, that we own this.
Right. Absolutely.
And understand, you know, what power we have having that stock. But yeah, Jasmine, I do recall the conversation a couple of years ago in Virginia where we were told not to mention agent-owned company on ours. So thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet name tags are exempt from that.
Maybe so.
Yeah, because that's not an official thing. But I think I would probably push the envelope a little bit and put it on my name tag.
And maybe even, Jasmine, check with Fred, the new manager broker, because
Yeah.
the guidelines have been loosened a little bit under the new, you know, regime of brokers in this area. So that may have been something that was 2 years ago and doesn't. Thank you for bringing that.
Absolutely. Great question.
Jasmine, were you going to say something else? I saw your mic.
Oh, no, I just said thank you.
Okay, our pleasure. Great question.
Who else has a question?
We got agent number 1.
Hey Dale, how you doing? Tim Neal here.
Hey, Tim, how are you, sir?
Awesome. Phenomenal story that you just shared with us. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
from your level, top down, you're seeing a lot of top brokers coming over to eXp Realty. They're looking over the fence now. Now they're jumping over the fence, actually. And so what's the value proposition that makes them say, I'm in? You know, because a lot of times brokers I've talked to brokers, a lot of them have a lot of pride in their name, pride in what they built. They got their baby. They don't want to throw their baby out with the bathwater, but they like what eXp is doing. So what's the thing that they look at it and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side. I'm going to just take this and join with eXp Realty. What is it that you see is that kind of that one thing that the light bulb goes on and they jump the fence?
You know what? That's really our job to figure out, because everybody comes from a different standpoint. I've talked with broker owners of different firms that some it's just all about the money. Some it's all about the family. Some it's all about, and that's really what we need to do, is do a needs analysis with every agent, because I found early on what I was most excited about was the revenue share portion. And there was people that I blew out of the water because they did not want to recruit. And I get that. Shame on me for not finding out, you know, what do they like about their past brokers first, because some are just, it's all about the family. Oh, let me introduce you to my family. You know, why don't you come on in and we can ask some questions in one of the forums, and we've got masterminds, you know, where people are just bringing their best. Or maybe it's all about, I've had people just join just for the Icon program. They're like, what? We can get our 16 back? Yeah, let me show you how. And now all of a sudden their light bulb comes on. And so there's different levels. And that's our job. Just like when we're dealing with a buyer, we got to ask the right questions to get the right answers to get them into their home. Same thing. It's no different, because first off, I find that I have to build the relationship first. I need to find out who they are. What do they value? Do they have kids? Do they have family? Do they have a dog? You know, where do they live? Where do they want to be when they grow up? What are they looking to leave behind in the world? And as soon as I can just find out some key pieces, I can tell them about the piece that's going to fit in their puzzle.
Right.
And they're going to at least take the time to kick the tires within, come into the world, meet some of the people, take them for a tour around, and really show them what we have. So I wouldn't say that there's just one thing, but there's one thing for everyone.
Right.
Nice. Thank you.
Excellent. Love that.
I love that.
Excellent.
So Dale, this is Natasha Johnson. I'm in Georgia.
Hi, Natasha.
So I don't have a question per se, but I'll just say add Atlanta to your visiting list. We are really starting to build down here. I'm a brand new agent, 4 months
Yay.
old.
Welcome.
Building and looking and enjoying building. So
It's
I just
fun.
actually talked to a broker last week about coming over to eXp, and she's actually taking a look at us. So excited.
Perfect. Yeah, and the nice thing is we don't need to be the source of all the information. All we have to do is lead them to the source. We've got classes going on, and just say, tell you what, just for giggles, just come over and just give me 45 minutes. I want to take you to a class. I want to introduce you around. You can see how we run. You can see this is if you have a question about accounting, you just pull this ticket here. Let me show you how this works, and we'll just go in and say hi. And so just by leading them to the source, they make their own decisions. Early on, we called it eXpewing.
Right.
We were so excited that this was going to change the world, and especially our world, and it has for many of us. There's a lot of people that this has truly changed their whole trajectory in life. And just by leading them to the source, get them in touch with your brokers, get your mentors or whoever you're working with, and just lead them to the source. And you guys are all in my tree. Give me a call. If I'm available, I will certainly reach out and fill in some of the gaps.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I know early on, I know we were guilty of the eXpewing too, so that's why I'm saying what you're sharing is powerful. I know, Stephen Covey has a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he talks about first seek to understand, then be understood.
And be understood.
Kind of honing the conversation on what's most important to them, as opposed to just, telling them everything, through excitement. So that's powerful.
Absolutely.
And the whole concept of, the statement, he always has so many. One of them he has is the person who asks the questions controls the conversation. So I like you said, leave the questioning so that you can, based on their responses, take their mind where it needs to go. If revenue coming in is a big issue with them, then you can focus on that. But if it's not, training, then you can show them all the classes that we have and all of that. So I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely. Great. Well, these are great questions. We got a few more minutes. If anybody else has any burning questions, please open your mic. This is the time.
Hey Dale, I'm kind of old school. What's your pager number?
My pager number?
Hit me on the hip, huh?
That's awesome.
I need to be able to page you when I need a question, man.
That's right. Yep. So my number, if anybody wants to write it down, 360-319-6365. Text works best for me. Messenger.
Yeah. Just put in there agent number 1.
All 50 ways to reach out.
Absolutely.
You may be getting quite a few text messages.
I know that's right.
And the reason why I say that is because how incredible is it to be agent number 1? I mean, think about it. You were agent number 1. You were the first state broker. And what is a state? I'm sure many people were like, "What's a state broker?" I mean, you even had to overcome that in your fellow broker meetings. And
I did. Absolutely. It didn't really hit me how significant it was until we started doing the eXp conventions, where everybody's, people go and parade me around. Hey, this is agent number 1. I'm like, okay, cool.
You're royalty.
I know.
I mean,
I guess. I was wearing dark sunglasses and the hoodie.
Yeah.
They still pick me out.
There he is.
You're in Texas. Yeah.
That's how you'll always be agent number 1, man.
And it's so.
I will.
I mean, one of the things you said, if anyone else has questions, please by all means jump in. But if one of the things you shared in our call before the call was that you had somewhat of some Job experiences where a joke from the Bible. That's what I'm referring to, where
Mm-hmm.
you were getting some cross eyes, and people were like, "Have you lost your mind?"
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I had friends just laugh at me. Oh, you're gonna try that? Why don't you, why don't you just stay with a real company?
Right.
Yeah. But so I've been having some conversation because they're still my friends,
Right.
and now they're going, "Oh, Dale, I think I made a big mistake."
Right.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I tried to tell you we were going to do great things. I tried to tell you. I tried to sell you. I tried to rationalize and reason with you. And now they're going, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay."
Well, speaking of that, Dale, you got in obviously extremely early. You're like almost on the negative early side, really early. But my question is don't you think it's still early?
I think it's really early. Absolutely.
Okay.
There's how many real estate brokers are there globally? I hear that it's like 20 million or something. I don't know the stats, but I know it's big. And if we only have 30,000, then that's really early. I mean, that's incredibly early. But even while saying that, look at the other companies. For them to hit 30,000, it was 20 years, 30 years in the making.
Right.
And here we are, going on 11 coming up. And so I believe it if ever there was a right time to get in, I'd rather get in now than when I got in, to be honest with you.
Right.
Except for the stock and all that stuff. I mean, all these, but as far as coming on as an agent, right now is the perfect time. People are looking for change.
Right.
This is kind of a wonky year. So people are going, gosh, I need to jettison some of this overhead. Oh, well, guess what? We can do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want some real upside potential? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. You want to build a legacy? Yeah.
Absolutely. And just give some perspective, I think in this country there's over 1.2 million agents. Globally, there's over 20 million agents.
Yes.
So we just crossed 32,000. So we're still in the basement.
We're still in the basement. Absolutely. But we've got such credibility in the marketplace now that people are seeking us out. And now's a great time to go back to those people that you spoke to early on. Check back and just say, hey, you know what? We spoke, 2 years ago. How are things going? Back then you were talking about this, and this is where you want to go. How's that working out for you?
Right.
Because we're still looking for top agents.
Yeah.
There's a lot of top agents in that 1.2 just here in our nation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of top agents, and I know they're looking for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's so amazing. We were at NAR last year, which is probably the largest group of agents nationally. And it was amazing that so many people had never heard of us.
Right.
It was just 2019, San Francisco. And these were agents who are, producers and committee members and board members and things, and they've never heard of us. So
absolutely.
Exactly
And also there's no shortage. I mean, we have a lot of new agents that are on board and coming on board that are coming and having a great success within their first year. So there are a lot of people who are, there's no shortage of people who are still coming into this industry. So we can take advantage of that as well. So, all right. Well, I think
this has been awesome.
This has been awesome, Dale.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on. I'm honored. And I'm really looking forward to coming out and meeting your team.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, we look forward to it once, COVID does what it's going to do.
Yes.
And we survive, praise the Lord.
I know that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. It's our job to stay healthy and stay strong and just carry on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely. So we'll stay connected and we'll, coordinate like some time to get you out here and definitely meet the group. And hey, we're again looking forward to the future of eXp Realty and building more legacies together. And we appreciate you getting up bright and early on that West Coast. So if you text or call Dale, wait, he's 3 hours behind. So
that's right.
So don't do it too early.
So thank you, Legacy Builders Global Agents. We so appreciate each of you. We appreciate all that you're doing. We see you on Facebook and Instagram, and those of you who aren't even on there, we see you too.
Absolutely.
Because we know that the best is yet to come for each of us. So we're so excited. Thank you for faithfully coming to these calls each first and third Monday of the month. And we're just trying to, you know, Michael and I are trying to do more just to bring about empowerment.
Yes.
So look for, Dale, you didn't know this, but 2 Mondays ago, we had Fee Gentry on.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
So we had Fee Gentry on, and just so you all know where we're going, this is where we're going. We're bringing, you know, great topics to you. We're bringing great guest speakers. You all will be the guest speakers, and many of you have been already. But we're just really all about empowering you to be successful. And as Michael always says, we want to make it easier. What do you say?
Make it easier for you to succeed and harder for you to fail.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
that's what this is all about. So thank you so much. The next coffee club meeting will be the 21st of September.
Yes.
But keep in mind, we'll have our high-end real estate event on the 16th, which is before that. So you'll have to stay abreast of the announcements in the Facebook group and just on Facebook and Instagram. So we look forward to having a productive month in September.
That's right.
Anything else?
I think that's it. Let's just give Dale
Yes.
warm legacy builders.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hand clap.
Blessings on you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
All right. Let's go out and build more legacies. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Blessings.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks, Dan.